spend all day numbering things, putting things into sequence. You know, I sometimes think the education bureaucrats in Washington need to spend some time in like a recovery house, to get over this numerical addiction. You know, what happens with these tests is that you're judging children and their teachers solely on the basis of that very, very narrow slice of purely mechanistic skills that can be measured most simplistically by standardized exams, but ruling out all those richer, more authentic forms of culture that are not reducible to numbers. Here's an example of what I mean. Let's say I was told recently they now have one of the testing corporations, maybe it's Pearson, have you ever heard of them? Or Harcourt, Brace, the publishers are going into testing now, there's a lot of money in it. That one of them's developing a machine that can grade essays, that can give a number to an essay and assign points to the essay. Well, you may wonder how can you do that? Here's how. You can measure an 8th grade student's capability to write an essay where, let's say, every sentence, every paragraph starts with a topic sentence. You know, how many remember the words topic sentence? You know, everyone in America had to learn that. I've written 13 books, and I swear to God, I've never used a topic sentence yet. I don't think Toni Morrison ever did either. I know Hemingway didn't. This is going to be a story about a man who liked to fish. You know, you can measure whether there's a topic sentence on every paragraph. You can measure, you can give a child so many points if the first paragraph tells you what the next 4 will be about. And if the last paragraph tells you what the previous 3 were about. You know, that you can do, but you can't give a number to a child's capability to write something that comes right from the heart. You can't give a child a number for something that's heartbreaking, that's touching, that's poignant, that makes you struggle not to cry. You can't give a number for originality, as opposed to the essay which just regurgitates acceptable banalities. A child doesn't get any points for comedy, for writing something that's wildly funny. The kind of thing where the teacher calls up a friend on the weekend and says, listen to this, you know. You get no points for subtlety, or irony, or artistry. The poet in a child will never be rewarded on a standardized exam. Indulging curiosity, developing real critical capacities, you know, real strong critical capacities, what Paulo Freire called the power to interrogate reality, you know. So when you're a grown-up, you can be an aggressive and discerning citizen. Forget it. They do that in good suburban schools. There they encourage it. Not in the inner city schools that are under the sword where the principal's under the threat of decapitation if she can't pump what they call the AYP, so many points each year. Forget it. Curiosity and question will not improve. In other words, in case I wasn't clear enough, I really don't like standardized exams. I love one of the kids in the book who says those bubble tests. I hated them. He said, number 2 pencils. He remembered it. number 2 pencils, the point would always break. And the eraser would always smudge. I don't want to make it clear, I'm not opposed to testing. It's useful testing.